It's not fair. It's been the complaint of children for as long as there have been children. But in recent years, something odd has happened. Adults have started using the word in much the same way, as a whine, as a claim, as an assertion of moral superiority. Here's a graph from Google Ngrams showing the frequency of the word fair in books published in the UK since 1900. As you can see, the incidence increases markedly from around 1980. It seems our generation is more obsessed with fairness than any that has gone before. But what do we mean by fairness? Do we mean entitlement? Do we mean equality? Do we mean need? Or do we mean something else? Suppose you and Jane bought a pie together. You paid £6 and Jane paid £4. What would be the fair way to divide it up? You could do it on the basis of proportionality. In other words, you get 60% of the pie and Jane gets 40%. Or you could do it on the basis of strict egalitarianism. Half each, regardless of who paid what. Or perhaps you could do it on the basis of need, of existing wealth. So Jane has had nothing to eat all day and is plainly hungrier than you are. Maybe she should get the largest share. A case can be made for each approach. But the beauty of the word fair is that it doesn't require you to come down clearly in favour of any of them. It gives you the cover of ambiguity. So, for example, when a politician says, "We want the rich to pay their fair share," he generally doesn't mean that he wants them to pay taxes at the same rate as everyone else. What he means is that he wants them to pay extra. The word fair lets him present confiscatory taxation as a form of justice, but only if we don't think about it too hard. That's the beauty of the word fair. It doesn't ultimately mean proportionate or impartial or equal. Rather, it's a kind of general hooray word. You can use it to mean almost any positive thing you like. In her song of the same name, for example, Lily Allen uses "it's not fair" to mean, roughly speaking, you're bad at sex. In politics, "I want fairness" generally means "look at me, I'm a nice person." Demanding fairness lets you tell the world how very decent you are without your actually having to contribute a penny. It's a kind of vanity. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Let's get real. The only just way to distribute that pie is to see how much people are prepared to pay for their slice of it. Yes, that could leave a hedge fund manager with a bigger slice than a nurse. And yes, we might not like that distribution. We might feel that a nurse is doing something more intrinsically valuable than a hedge fund manager. She's tending to people when they're at their most vulnerable, while he is looking at screens. But how can we judge someone else's economic worth? You might want nurses to be paid more than hedge fund managers. I might want newspaper columnists to be paid more than Premier League footballers. Since we'll all have our own preferences, the only way to measure the economic value of a service is to see how much others are prepared to pay for it. And that's what the market does. It aggregates our preferences. It doesn't ask us in the abstract what we think someone else deserves. It tests in reality how many hours of our own labour we're prepared to put in exchange for the service that they are offering. You can't say fairer than that.